What's up, family? Welcome back to the Empowered Network. Welcome back to another episode of Empowered Weekly. We are so glad you chose to join us here today, here at the Empowered Network, in which our mission is to empower a world of leaders. That's right, empower you to be the change that you want to see, as well as strive to pursue purpose. Again, I say welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad, I'm so honored that you chose to join us here today. Feel free to follow us on any of our social media platforms at The Empowered Network, on YouTube and Facebook, on Instagram at _Empowered Network. Feel free to follow us and keep up with us as we strive to be the change that we want to see. Diving right into today's lesson. Again, I said this series that we're doing now here at the Empowered Network, I want it to be more interactive, more engaging, more okay, what can I learn from this? What can I gain from this experience? So we're going to be really pushing to ask those thought-provoking questions and have those thought-provoking conversations as well. So today's topic is I saw it, or I see it rather. I saw it and I see it. The first question I want to ask you today, the first key point today is, what do you see? Yes, we're diving right into them. What do you see? Oftentimes you say, I have this gut feeling. I feel it in my gut. I have this gut feeling. Now, Webster defines a gut feeling as an instinct and an immediate feeling. And the first thing I want you to write down, what have you seen? This is going to be a recurring question. I want to ask you that time and time again. What have you seen? What has your gut been telling you? What have you seen through dreams? What have you seen through visions? What have you seen just sitting there in your imagination time, just daydreaming? What have you seen? What has given you an instinct and an immediate feeling throughout the course of this journey? Oftentimes, tell you that because it starts with what you see. It starts with let me just start over. Oof. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Empowered Network and another episode of Empowered Weekly. We are so glad you chose to join us today. Listen, guys, our mission is to empower a world of leaders to be the change that you want to see. Again, empower a world of leaders to be the change that you want to see. Feel free to tag a neighbor, tag a friend, share this with somebody and let them know that, hey, we are pursuing purpose here at the Empowered Network. Feel free to follow us on all of our social media platforms at the Empowered Network for YouTube and Facebook, our Instagram, _Empowered Network. Feel free to follow us and keep up with us as we strive to be the change. I am pleased to announce and excited to announce we have so many things coming in the year 2023. You do not want to miss out. You do not want to be aware of what's going on as we strive to be the change. Today's topic, I want to dive right in. I want to make sure you got your notepad out, you got your pen ready. I want to dive right in today. Today's topic is I saw it, or for lack of better terms, I see it. I see it. What is it? Am I trying to talk about it? What is it? What has it done for you? What has given you that hope, that inspiration? What is that instinct that you know that gives you an immediate feeling? What is it? What do you see? That's the first thing I want you to write down. What have I seen? Now, I ask that because oftentimes things in your life, it starts with what you have seen. The Bible says that without a vision, the people perish. And I've realized that the things that you see plays a part in your life. Can you see the effect, the impact that it's had on your life? Are you aware of what surroundings are taking place when you see this thing? Are you aware of what you're thinking? What have you done? Do you trust what you see the first time God reveals something to you? Do you trust what you see the first time when somebody shows you their true colors? Do you trust what you see the first time when you see that you can do something? Do you trust the first time you see that you are more capable than what you thought you were? You're smarter than what you thought you were. Do you trust the process even when you fail? Do you trust what you see to know enough that I can go back and improve? Do you trust what you see? Now, I need you to understand, before I go any further into this, I need you to understand that not all of this is bad. Not all of this has to be bad, doom and gloom. But I need you to understand, again, that this is not all bad, doom or gloom. This is not all cheating scam. This is not all ESPN top 10 fails. This is not that. But this is specifically asking you and challenging you, when God has showed you something, what did you do? I'm reminded of Joseph, before going any further in any of these notes, I'm reminded of Joseph when God showed him the dreams of what he was to be and where he was to go in regards to leadership. He didn't necessarily tell him where or how. It's amazing how when Joseph told him, the response of that was not received the way in which he thought it would. And it's amazing how with what he saw, it led him to a pit. It led him to his brothers telling his dad that he was dead, from the pit to slavery, slavery to prison, prison to finally the dream coming to pass. So again, I ask you, I said that to say this. What did you do when God shows you? Are you one to run and tell all? Are you one to keep a secret? Are you one to act on it? Are you one to be afraid of it? Are you one to fear it? Are you one to question God? Are you one to be angry with God? Like, God, why would you tell me something like this? What do you do when God shows you something? One thing I want you to write down today, I want you to understand that faith and intuition and work all work together. Your faith, your intuition, your work ethic, all work together. The Bible says faith without works is dead. And I've learned that in order to have faith, there has to be some type of intuition. And as we go further into this, you can be like, okay, I get why he's saying this. They all work together. I also want you to write down today that if God showed me, he will lead me. If God showed me, he will lead me. The Bible tells us that he will lead you through the valley of the shadows of death, for I will fear no evil. The Bible also tells us that he is on your side, that you have no reason to fear. He's fighting for it. The Bible also tells us that with man, things are impossible, but with God, all things are possible. So again, if he showed you, he will lead you. If he brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. It's something I often hear in churches these days. If he brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. If God, and I need you to understand that God showed you these things for a reason. I need you to write this down. God showed me because he believes in me. God showed me because he loves me. God showed me because he wanted to warn me. God showed me because he trusted me. God showed me because it's for a reason. God showed me because even though I may not see that I am capable, he knows that I am capable. God showed me because even though I may not see or think I'm qualified for it, that I am, he knows that I am qualified for it. Even though I may not think, he knows. I'm trying not to get excited right away in these lessons, but I feel that heavy in my spirit that God showed you. And because he showed you, he will lead you. What did you see? What did you see? I want to encourage you right away in the lesson and let you know that no matter who may laugh at you, no matter who may talk about you, no matter who may downplay what you're doing, no matter who or what is against you, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. But I need you to understand that you have an assignment to bring what God has showed you to action. You have an assignment to escape if it calls for you to escape. You have an assignment to fulfill all that God has for you. You have an assignment to go into that hard place and do the difficult work. You have an assignment. You have a burden for a reason. He shows you because he believes that you can do it. He believes that you can do it. I want you to write that down. I can do it. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. I can do it. Why? Because God is on my side. If God showed you, he will lead you. Now, I will be remiss if I did not tell you that there are some facts. There are some things that come along with it. I will be remiss. I'll be lying to you if I didn't say that, yes, there are still some facts. There are still some truths that come with it. Listen, look at Noah. Noah was told to build an ark in a time in which there was no rain. And it took him 40 years to build it. And imagine building something for 40 years and what you've been saying time and time again is to come to pass, didn't come to pass. Look at Abram. Abram was told to go to a strange place in which no one. Look at Jacob. Look at Daniel. Look at Esther. Look at Paul. Look at Peter. These are all people called to do things where the fact was the odds were against him. The odds were against him. They were given things, they were given assignments in which the people are saying, the situation is saying, the circumstances surrounding saying, yo, this is not possible. You is crazy for trying to even, boy, do you know where you are? Do you know who you're dealing with? Look at Jesus. The Bible gives many examples of this, but I want you to write this down. I want you to write down that the facts do not define my story. The facts do not define my story. The facts may impact my assignment. The facts may cause people to laugh, but it does not define what God has showed you. And which segues into the next point, feelings. Feelings. I've learned that my feelings could be my biggest supporter or my biggest enemy. Feelings. Controlling your feelings. Understanding that facts, the truth, what's in front of you, what you see, can play an effect on your feelings. It can sway your feelings. Feelings can't beat up the facts. Feelings can't change the fact that this is the fact. But feelings, we as people, we base our moves on our feelings. Who you open up to, who you trust, who you listen to, who you love on. Feelings. Feelings first, then we revert back to the facts. How many relationships, how many friendships have we done things based off of feelings, even though the facts are saying, yo, don't trust them. Okay, we're not ready for that conversation today. Feelings. Will you allow feelings to let some facts hinder you? Let's say that again, real slow. Will you allow some feelings Will you allow some feelings to let some facts hinder you? Some feelings to allow some facts, some truths hinder you. Example. Imagine striving to be a pro athlete. The facts are that the higher up you go, the number of people who get in just begins to diminish. Facts are telling you, or the odds are against you. You don't have enough exposure. You don't have this. You don't have that. The facts are telling you that you're not in the right space. You're not in the right region. You're not in the right location. You're not in the right this. God is not with that. You might as well settle and do. The people, the administration, the school is telling you the facts. And at first, our feeling is telling us to prove everybody wrong. Our feelings is telling us, you know what? I am motivated enough to do it. Our feelings and our faith at that point in time is saying, I can do all things. I can do what they said I could not do. Our feelings at that time is saying, I can do it, regardless of the facts. But as time goes on, you begin to realize that they weren't lying, that the facts are still the facts. What do you do in those moments? You've been told time and time again, the odds of being a lawyer, a professional musician, this, that, and the third are slim to none. Being a successful businessman, breaking generational curses are slim to none. And at first you're striving, you're doing everything you can with God in that moment to disprove that point. But as time goes on, the facts are facting. What do? You know what God showed you. You know what you saw. But the truth of the matter, the facts of what's really going on around you, what you're surrounded with, your level of exposure, what you know, who you know, the capacity in which you're able to operate, the influence you have at that time. What do? Do you let the hype of the downfall get to you? Or do you let the hype of the elevation get to you? Do you let these things slow you down? Do you let your feelings of these facts slow you down to give up? Do you allow these facts to destroy your vision physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually? Everything, do you have those moments where you have those tantrums and everything that you have hanging on your wall, every poster, every award, every vision, every magazine, every vision board, everything that you work so hard to do to build your faith, you have that moment of breakdown and you rip it off and throw it off the wall. Emotionally shut down and begin to build a wall. Your feelings have now gotten the best of you. What do you do in that moment? Again, I come by to encourage you that if God showed it to you, you must understand that your path and your road, your journey is not meant to be the storybook like everybody else. You're not meant to have the same path. Your path, your story, your journey is meant to encourage someone else, the one who's following behind you, the one who's watching your footsteps, the one who is following your journey. Your path had to be different. The truth had to sink in. The truth had to happen. You had to be made aware of what the truth of the matter is. You had to be made aware of the statistics of the matter. Why? So that you know that it was God who brought you through. That it was God. It was God. If it wasn't for the Lord who was on my side, where would you be? That it was God. Again, because if he showed you, he will lead you. Again, Joseph, he showed him. Went through the craziest of the craziest things as a young man. And God still brought him to the promise. The children of Israel went through the craziest of the craziest things. But in the end, God still brought them to their promise. Esther, a time in which, a scary time when she had the facts was saying that everybody that was a Jew at the time was going to die. But God led her through. I'm getting excited in this. I'm getting excited in the studio, y'all. Oh my God. I need you to understand that if God showed you, he will bring you. He will lead you. I need you to understand that understanding your feelings and the facts and knowing how to use them both together is for your advantage. It gives you an advantage point. I say this because oftentimes we are told that neglect your feelings, neglect the facts, and just do what you do. We're told to be delusional in a sense. We're told to just go, and not really acknowledge what's really going on. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I've learned through my journey, I've learned through my course so far that it is important, it's imperative to be aware, it's imperative to acknowledge what you feel and what you know is going on. What you feel and what the statistics are saying. What you feel, and it is an advantage to know what's going on and how you feel in the midst of what's going on, and what solutions you can find to navigate through these situations. I want to challenge you. I want you to write this down. I want you to keep track of how you feel throughout the course of the journey. Be very vulnerable and honest with yourself. Being aware and being able to call out for things. If it's a fear of something, write it down. If it's an anger about something, write it down. If there's something you're anxious about, write it down. If you feel that if you feel that this is your time and your time, write it down. Write it down. And I challenge you to pray on the facts and the feelings and be honest with God. Be honest with God on the facts of what's going on in the inside of you, on the outside of you. It could be as simple as today's date. I feel like XYZ. Today I feel this. This part of my dream has me feeling. God, I need help in regards to. God, can you guide me in regards to? God, I'm struggling with this. And I promise if you pray with faith and believe that God will reveal, you have an advantage. There's no shame in being vulnerable with God. There's no shame in being honest with God and how you truly feel. I hate it takes too long to get to this point, but again, I want to ask you again, what do you see? What do you see? I want you to write this down. I want you to write down 5 things that you see for your life. 5 things that you see for your life. It could be whatever. It could be what do you want to accomplish? Where do you see yourself? What's your end goal? What's your big dream? Write those 5 things down. And I want you to keep a journal. Keep a log of how you're doing the course of the journey, what you're working on, what God has shown you in regards to that, what strategies, what plans. Keep track of it. I promise you, it helps. It helps. It helps. I'm telling you, as you do this, you will realize that God is making the way plain for you. He's revealing to you what to do and how to do it. There's a thing that people call tunnel vision. And oftentimes in rooms that I've been in, I choose my words very carefully, that they've looked at this in a negative light. But I look at this as an advantage. I look at it as an advantage. God has given you tunnel vision for a reason. Tunnel vision towards that goal, that dream, that desire, that passion of yours. This is going to sound very, very crazy, but will you allow God to give you tunnel vision towards Him? To the point in which nothing anybody says or does can faze you. Tunnel vision to the point in which even when you hit a low point, even when you still trust that God is with you. To the point in which that thing that everybody said it is not possible for you to achieve, that there's a low number of people that's doing this, you still believe that you have success, that you can still slay that Goliath. The fact that though they may slay you, the fact that the weapons may try to form, it won't form. They won't slay you because your eyes are on the prize and God is with you. You know what you saw. So I want you to write this down. I'm going to walk on it. I'm acting on it. I shall live it. And I believe that I can be it. I'm going to say it again. I'm acting on it. I shall walk on it. In it, rather. I shall live it. I shall be all that God has for me to be. I know what God showed me. You know what He showed you. I challenge you to make that push as we strive to be the change that you want to see.